they're changing the game
Yeah, there's a lot more talent on there than it used to be.
than there used to be. There's no doubt about that. The Clark girl and the girl from Iowa State have really changed the game. I think.
You guys join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. First thing on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
There are no changes. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Approval of Monday, March 21st, 2022 minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
I'll second that motion.
There's been a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item number 1 to approve payables. There was one added payable for the treasurer's department.
Did you talk to them up there about that one?
Yeah. Medical examiner.
Yeah, we're gonna look into that. We may just pay it and bill Crawford County. 'Cause we've had that happen before where we'll pay it and then we find out that they're not ours and then we just bill the appropriate county. So we're gonna try to find out. If we don't get an answer, we're probably gonna go ahead and pay it. And then when we get our answer, if we need to bill Crawford County, we will. Sounds like that person was a resident, not a resident, was a patient at the hospital and passed away at the hospital. So we'll find out for sure.
That's kind of what I thought it was.
Well, Rich had a question earlier.
Is there any role, citizen role that you can cross-reference any of that to? I mean, you have the voting roles. but
We
obviously
can
if
look
they
up
don't
and see if
vote
they're registered to vote or they're registered, but sometimes if they've moved,
or
we
don't
may not
vote,
know that. So usually we can find out. We'd always let the ambulance director know when there's a way that, I don't know
They
if
try to do some research.
we'll find out for sure.
Okay.
Does that happen very often? You know, I don't know this.
Yes, yeah, I mean, it seems like well, when we get them, we usually double check. Sometimes we don't need to because we know they live in Carroll or we know they're from Templeton because we know who they are. But if it's somebody that we don't know, we should check, just double check. And the ambulance directors should know that we only pay Carroll County, but this might be a case where Jamie didn't know that she wasn't from Carroll County and nobody said anything. Or maybe she is, maybe she just moved here within the last week. I don't know, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do utilize the voting software and then we also notify the ambulance director that we need to know
More
more from.
information.
And sometimes we'll send it to like Green County and then they'll be like, well, no, they're yours. So then we got to figure out where did they last live most recently.
Okay.
But the counties around us are good about that.
Okay.
Need a motion on this payable?
I'll make a motion to approve the payables for today.
I will second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Second item is to approve a plat that was requested by Sam Galen.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
This is
in splitting off an acreage.
This is in Roselle, isn't it? No, it's Roselle.
I'll second that motion.
There's been a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. All right, item number 3, amendment to the lease for Caring Hearts of West Central Iowa LLC. So they're gonna be running a little bit more office space over at the Fricky building.
Is that the map on the correct?
Yeah.
Courtney?
So,
It's actually two
yeah, if you-
offices on the south side, right?
yeah, so if you look down and where it says restroom, mechanical, electric break room, just to the left of there's an office, and above that is another office. On the previous lease, those had X's in them. And those are the two offices that they're gonna take over, or those ones on the end closest to the bathroom. The little tiny bathroom, not those big ones.
And it actually just kind of worked out because the original start date of this lease was April 13th, so we set it up for that same time frame. I talked to Gail, and they're very much on board with that, so.
So what are we gonna have vacant over there?
Just where the X is, I think.
Well, the east suite is what's isn't being used is what's vacant over there right now.
Yeah, so the suite B is gonna be full with the renters, and then the other side where Megan and VA is at, I'm not sure what they have for extra space over there, but there might be a few offices, but I don't know, they may be getting used. Since the regions change, or the region's gonna be hiring somebody new. The gal that used to come over from Crawford County, I believe she's retiring. So they're gonna
She
try to
uses
hire
space like
somebody.
once a week and maybe or something.
Yeah, maybe, but I think they wanna obviously keep space for somebody to continue to come here.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's gonna work out just yet.
Yeah.
But
Once you get back behind that, with the reception area, there's a lot of space back there.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of space in it. I know that.
I'll make a motion that we approve the amendment to the lease with Terry and Harts. And that's, should be noted, that's also for an increase of $200.
It's a 2-year lease, correct?
I don't know if it's 2 years. It's an annual that just keeps renewing until we get notified.
13th day of each month thereafter.
So the original lease was a 2-year lease.
Yeah.
We're amending it. So this lease will expire April 12th of next year.
Okay.
And then we'll do a whole new lease, I believe.
Yeah, it's 2 years.
All right, there's been a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Courtney, would you have Zach, when I know he's busy, but when he's over there, make sure they have the safety exits marked well, tornado exits, those signage, anything that we have. Like there's a sign on the wall or how this for fire or whatever.
Mhm.
Just having double checked over there. I think they're sure they are, but getting more people in there, we probably should double check on that.
We have about 7 minutes. Does anybody have a shorter committee reports? Before we can go into our public hearing.
I can do my report real quick.
Okay.
Last Tuesday, I had RSVP foster grandparents. And this week, clean slate, unless Stephanie wants to meet about SEH on Wednesday. Would not.
Sure.
Like Wednesday had Rolling Hills, we had a pretty good discussion on whether to replace an employee, where we are going to go ahead and replace that employee. It'll be probably, there was no particular region, probably depend on qualifications and where we find that person, that we may do some shuffling of Carroll County. We may also be part of the same group we were with before, so. That's all I had last week. This week I have nothing going on. Take care of some personal things, so.
I can go. Monday I did that CARF review during the, which is a review for our substance abuse and treatment out new opportunities. And then Monday at noon, I attended along with Stephanie to the Rotary, and we brought them up to date. I thought that was very well received, and quite a few questions asked of us that I thought that was very good. So, and then on Tuesday, I had policy council meeting for Head Start, and we basically went through all the stuff. We went through our program report. We are under enrolled right now yet. That's due to the COVID that the Fed don't want us to have those classroom totally. And but other than that, things are going good. Went through all the fine those things. We did have some health and safety reports that were filed, and those issues are being corrected. There was basically some playground issues where there's some steps and stuff that need to be with the difference in heights taken care of. They did commit to talk about the school readiness report. This is the report that we do 3 times a year, shows where they're at this time. And we're at the time they came in, and those were very good. So we also had a follow-up on our non-federal share waiver that was approved by the federals. Current evaluations have been sent out, and then there were some policy changes that we adopted. It was about tobacco-free and nicotine-free. Also, we reported to the policy council on the audit that the board received a month ago, and that was a clean audit. And that was about it. So that was Tuesday. And then on Friday, I did go up to the tail bridge there, getting ready to start driving the second set of timing. And then this week I have it's kind of quite, I think Thursday I have a new opportunity board meeting Thursday afternoon, so that's this week. Oh, and Wednesday, if you get that set up.
Yeah, I just sent them an email to see if they have availability for an hour or 2 on Wednesday.
Mine might take a little while.
I can go then. Last week I had the Rotary and Carroll, Dean, I'm going to give you this picture. It was a suggestion that we had received, maybe to put some mile markers out on the trail. So conservation, if you just want to bring that up to,
Sure.
it was a suggestion. And then I did follow up with Adam Schwartz. Thanks for getting that email from the Carroll landfill on the longevity of the Carroll landfill. So I forwarded that email on to Adam Schwartz. Then I had a daycare meeting. They did receive quite a substantial amount in grant funding, and they did pay off all of their debt. So
How do they do that? They did that grant wasn't that big.
they had received like 280 some thousand, but then they had some in saving to offset. There was about 50,000 they had to pull from savings. So that's a
Perfect.
huge plus for them. They also, again, like everybody else, struggling to find help. So if anybody knows any.
Well,
that's
that'll
a good
help
job.
if they don't have that debt.
Mhm. And then this upcoming week, potentially Wednesday, doing an SCH workshop, waiting to hear back from John. So that is it. Wait,
Well, I can try to go quick.
you only have 2 minutes.
I had a Board of Health meeting last Thursday. It was a regular Board of Health meeting. I better wait. It's a good weekend, I think.
Oh, one other thing, okay, last Thursday, I went on tour with Zach Anderson on a problem. Where he did some research on it.
All right, it's 9:15. We're gonna go ahead and open up a fiscal year 23 county budget and certification of taxes public hearing.
So I was reviewing this. There's not been any changes since we held our public hearing for the max levy resolution. Everything stays the same. Just going back and doing some checking, and this is the 9th budget that I've done, which seems weird that it's been that many. Doesn't seem like it's been 9 budgets. but
Congratulations.
Yeah. This is kind of, well, it's not off topic, but, I'd like to thank all the department heads and elected officials that have to get their numbers to us. Went really, really smoothly this year. Everybody was really good about turning in their information. I think we have a good budget. Levy is down overall, which is always a good thing. So, you guys, any of you have any questions or want me to hit any high points of the budget? Or?
Have you heard anything from the public?
No.
I tend to agree with you. I think it's been a good budget for what we did this year. We've added some staff. And I think, probably total expenses are up compared to last year quite a bit. But the thing is, a lot of those expenses that are in there, the increase are going to be pass-through dollars from grants, like the American Recovery Act and stuff like that. So I think it's a good, and I also think that Courtney, you did an excellent job, and I agree, all the department heads, that everybody worked well with this budget, and was very well done.
Yeah, I'd agree with Gene. The valuations helped us again this year. And the grants that Gene commented on, I mean, they were pretty favorable to the county, like they were every county, every city. We gave, it's kind of a rocky situation there during the salaries and that whole thing, but it's nice to be able to give the employees a little bit of a boost, because we don't know when we can do that again. And so it was nice to give them a bump this year. I think it's a good budget, we're not levying anymore, so that's always good.
I agree with all those comments. Rich?
We had some very fortunate things happen to us. And one of them happened a couple of years ago when our financial people got us through the jail situation. And I think we're starting to see some of the advantage of the low interest money that we did have, which has really helped us. Yes, we did. We're not going to tax for mental health. The state of Iowa is picking that up. But we still managed to move forward and still keep the levies down, and that has been a welcome thing. But yes, I think Dean had a very valid point that the valuations have helped drive that also. So we continue to work forward and try to improve the county and improve the services we give to the citizens of the county, and we're going to do okay.
Like I've always said, if you wanted to be a supervisor in any county, this is a county to be a supervisor.
I would agree after you listen to some of the plights that I hear from other counties from time to time. It's we're one of a handful that I think that are really have done some good things over the years.
And it's amazing, even this last ISAC meeting, I had at least one supervisor, not a couple from different counties come up to me. They want to know what we're doing. I think we're fortunate that we have the difference of valuations that we have. We have ag, we've got residential, and we've got a good industrial base, which a lot of counties don't have. And I think it gives us to spread that taxation over. So we're very fortunate that way. And it also gives us a lot of valuation to work with. I know a couple of years ago, we were like the second lowest in our levy rate. And I think right now, even with the debt service, and I should check that out, but we're still down to the bottom 10. I think we're
about
probably like third or fifth, so.
Yeah,
But so we are being watched by other counties. I mean, yeah, we're fortunate.
we are very fortunate.
And a lot of it has been, like you said, a lot of our predecessors have done it right.
Have done some good things for us too. We got some good people out there in our county. They work hard. It shows in the properties, it shows in the communities.
Plus we're keeping good quality of life. And we're not
And-
sacrificing.
We're not sacrificing much, that's right. So, all in all, I feel like we're patting ourselves on the back here a little bit, but I think Gene's right. The predecessors have set a pretty good path for us, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of keeping that path going, so.
The new building, you know, obviously, people are making money in Carroll County. They can build new homes and which helps
Oh, boy.
helps the tax base. And I always said that, you know, the people in these communities in Carroll County have a lot of pride in their communities. And they keep their properties up.
Drive through them, you can
Yeah,
tell.
you know, and they want their towns to thrive. So hats off to them as well.
Exactly.
Ben or Dalton, is there any comments online?
No comments online.
Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 9:21. Item number 5, resolution 2022-005, elected officials' salaries. I think everybody's had time to take a look at this.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-006.
05.
I'm sorry. 05. I am- 05.
I will second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by, roll call.
Osman,
Yes.
Ruggles,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Miners,
Yes,
Shetler.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. I'll pass this around for signatures.
It says 06.
The second one's all those. All right. Item number 6 will be resolution 2022-006, adoption of fiscal year 23 county budget and certification of taxes.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution 2022-006, the FY 23 county budget certification and certification of taxes.
I will second.
There's been a motion and a second. We'll do roll call vote.
Osman,
Yes.
Ruggles,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Miners,
Yes,
Shetler.
Yes.
Motion carries. And then this is the budget. if you can sign this too.
You want me to date it?
Yeah.
All right, item number 7, discuss proposal letter for lead-based paint, asbestos testing for the courthouse remodel. This is a draft letter that was sent to Courtney, and then Courtney sent it out to us for as far as the proposal for work that needs to be done.
The only thing I came up with on it, as I read it, and it looks to me like that's all standard information. Is the publishing on this is going to be outrageous. We'd like to have see if we can get a condensed version.
I don't know that we have to publish this.
Well,
I think we send out to request for proposal. That's all we do.
you don't think we have to put any specs in it of any kind?
Not the way John, no, we, of course, we had a check about that. He's thinking probably 5,000. I don't know if that's what's.
Okay. Well, that was my only concern was,
And I don't think that was, we were gonna do a request for proposals, which request for proposals, we don't usually publish those. Do we? So I don't think that we'd have any of that. And which remind me before we quit, I have a question about publications too.
but that's my only concern was I don't want to get a lengthy thing going.
No, I think we were gonna try to, we were gonna request for proposals, so we would have multiple bids or offers, or, you know, so we did do a comparable, so. The only problem I have, has anybody tried to open them drawings up? I can't get them to go.
I opened them up. I actually opened them and then I downloaded them to my computer and saved them in my jail, or not jail, sorry,
They're talking
courthouse.
like a 24 by 36. At least
It's
I
a good size. What I planned on doing was where, you know, it talks about attachments. I'm not gonna probably include those floor plans in the letter. Just tell them where to find them so they can go on our website, click on them. If they need to print them, but rather than print those off.
And that's like getting into his site now with that verification.
Well, my question was on, it says clarification questions shall be emailed to the owner's representative, and then I had my email in there. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to answer any questions about this. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Unless they send the questions to me and I forward them to John.
I think there's one, you need the funnel would be my
Which
guess.
I'm fine with that. Because I would have assumed that he wanted them to go to him, he would have put his own email in there, so.
You know, yeah. But John, last time I talked to him, he said that he thought it'd be best we did the whole building so we'd have it done. Even though we're not doing it now, eventually we're gonna have to have it done. Probably. And I think he's probably right. The one thing is that, and I think I might have reported this last week. But Randy Bloom was not interested in doing it now because he is also doing the Ogden County Courthouse. He must be doing the same type of situation. And he said it's going to be run right into his spring work, he farms also. So he declined to do it. I see since then his mother's passed away too. So, but Randy did give me 2 names in Des Moines, and John's got 2, and I think if we do those 4 people should be added.
Do you have the name and addresses for all 4 then? Okay, so if you can give those to me, I can email, or I'll mail this letter out on.
Well, you know what? I don't have the ones from John.
Oh,
He named the names, but he didn't give me the addresses. It's all.
well, I could probably get the addresses just by Googling them.
John's
they're out of Omaha.
John's in that email and Randy is behind it.
I just planned on printing this letter on the board letterhead. And then where it says attachments, just leaving that, but putting not attachments, but just a link where they can go to find them as soon as I figure out how to get them on our website. Do you guys have a date of when you'd like these back?
I'll take her, but I think we should get it done.
I would assume I would be able to either get them sent out today or tomorrow. Do you want to give them a couple weeks? And
So when is our? We want to like shoot for,
say they're due April 15th.
That's what I would say, and then
Yeah.
hopefully
Then we can
by,
talk about it on the 18th.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be fine with me.
Are you okay if I put in there, they can email me their proposal rather than mail
I don't know, will they be able to get all the testing? Did they send it? I wonder if they send anything out, outsource?
Like taking a sample and sending it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
If
think
they
we
would
do.
run into something that's. it
Well, we
could be
just
a
asked for
pretty
a
short
request for the
window.
proposals right now.
Okay.
What's gonna cost to do that?
Yeah, that's fine. I just didn't know if that was gonna cut them short over the.
I think it, and the
It's
other
3
thing,
weeks.
Randy suggests that we, particularly the lead, he says, otherwise they do that scrape test, they gotta go so deep. Be best if we had the X-ray one. And then we, you know,
You know, those
Less
marks.
invasive.
yeah, and so we ain't gotta patch up stuff, and I think that makes
I
sense.
agree.
It'd be a little bit more costly, but why do we want to have a bunch of holes?
Yeah,
We got
it's less
that,
invasive, like I said.
Okay, so Courtney will send it to those 4 proposed, or if anybody else online that hears about it can send a proposal too. And it will be due April 15th, and tentatively talk about it on the 18th. All right. You guys have any more discussion on that? Okay. Item number 8, discuss board of supervisor meetings. Currently, we meet on Mondays, every Monday. There's been some conversations about moving our meetings from Monday to Tuesdays.
Can you back up a little bit on this?
We can go back,
Did you see these, you guys all look at this proposal?
yes.
And I think I see what looks to me like that entrance up in the front, he's kind of taking that out, trying to keep the cost down. And we were looking at doing some work on that canopy. I
That
think
first,
That's like that 58,000 on page 2. And they were taking that out of the mix. And the last time I talked to him also, he said that, you know, he's got some abatement in here, asbestos, and he wasn't sure if that would all be needed to do, so. I just wanted.
Oh, that 58,000 isn't in the,
Now you see it on that one sheet, he's got it scratched out,
That front one.
yeah. I think
oh, I
that,
see.
trying to keep that cost down.
Well, it's nice to know, Bill.
Okay, that's all I
Where in this, where we kind of where it would fit in, that there is alternatives to removing everything.
have. It's in there. I think there's some alternatives.
Towards the back, but I only, I still don't know where
Of
the
all removal of the asbestos, or if we find it.
There's like an alternative for roofing
Yeah,
and.
but I didn't see,
The demo's on page 3. And it looks like, looks to me like they're included, but
he was, it looked to me like it was full blown demo. And what I'm saying is you might be able to encapsulate some of this and never touch it again. And it's just like these 4 tile, I would wager that they're asbestos, but if you don't touch them,
We carpet over them or.
carpet over them, you don't need to remove them.
Yeah.
So it's the same go with the ceiling in there where the ripples are at. That very well could just be covered over with an encapsulant.
But I think the problem
And
is
you're
you're gonna have to go in there, cut in there to get that lines right. That's the problem there.
electrical and HVAC.
Okay.
You have to
Now
restrict
here,
the
I think
property.
this probably wouldn't be as big an issue because I think they just drop them out. I don't know that these have asbestos. in it. And we're assuming,
There are some paint.
we're doing a lot
There
of
is some
assuming.
paint that has asbestos in it too. Or we all know that has lead.
You know, I
There
don't
is
know
some
that,
paint.
you know, this was built the same time as that one in Templeton. And actually, when they went in there, it wasn't as bad as they thought it was.
Okay,
So I'm,
the sixties
I'm
was kind
hoping
of
that's
that
gonna be that way.
was
Crossing
kind
your
of
fingers.
that flip
Crossing
flop
your
years.
fingers.
They transitioned out of one about in the mid
But,
sixties.
but I do agree with you on this.
Yeah,
just covered.
Well, yeah, but I don't know,
But I think the other problem they have is, you cover it, but over here, they have to drill a hole down through. They drop a pipe and they gotta go through that, and that creates another issue.
but if that is sealed and can't get airborne, then there's ways to do that also.
But the two, he's got all alternates here on the roofing and also in this room as far as a petition.
Well, he's got removed flooring and base.
Yeah.
$33,000. So I mean,
I know,
you're talking about removing this?
and that's what I'm saying is the guy comes in and says, oh, you know, we can just spray that and we can do it for $1,000, but we're gonna charge him
Those
$3,800.
are things we talked about Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Those are good questions. Make sure you write them down so you can bring them Wednesday. Well,
Yeah, I will.
you hand them off to somebody else.
I will. I don't see any room in the contract for doing less work. If he's got a chance to bill you $25,000, they're gonna bill you $25,000, even if they get $1,500. And that's where I don't wanna get into a contract that says, here's a blank check, have at it.
Well, I don't think this is this is just an estimate.
I understand that, but you know who is gonna bid us at least.
When were you planning on hopefully meeting on Wednesday?
Potentially 9 AM.
Okay, because I need 48 hours notice. to have the public meeting.
Just waiting to hear back. If I don't hear any,
So we missed that already. So we have to have it in the afternoon.
I thought we were meeting on Thursday, but
Okay.
we can do Thursday. I can make Thursday work. I kind of left it up to the board when I sent that email out to the board.
Either day works for me.
Yeah, either day works. for me.
I'm fine with it.
I'll
you
give,
just let me know.
I'll call John right
My answer's
after our
gonna be
meeting.
the same both days.
Yeah.
I'd rather meet in the morning as opposed to the afternoon, I guess. If that. If
I would
Thursday
agree.
doesn't work, and you want to go Wednesday afternoon, that'd be fine too.
Yeah, I'll call John
Well,
right after.
The only thing is Thursday, I do have 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I have something I gotta be at in the afternoon, like at 4 too, so on Thursday.
So that's the only thing with Thursdays.
Okay. Item number 8, discuss Board of Supervisor meeting days. I know there's been conversations going around about moving our meeting to Tuesdays to allow the supervisors maybe a little bit more time to discuss information that we receive in packets on Friday afternoon. I'm just gonna leave this open to conversation, pros, cons.
I think the public too would benefit from a Tuesday. As far as if the meeting comes out on Friday afternoon, if there's something and they don't happen to see it until Monday.
Or whatever
Like
source
after-
they're using, they don't find it till Monday, and they want to have information from us to talk about what they have. Well, I can agree with that a little bit. I am absolutely neutral on this. The only advantage, I don't know whether in the future this would allow people to run, more people to run for these boards. Whether it be an advantage or disadvantage, I don't know. I do know that there's a lot of boards that I deal with, and a lot of like the regional mental health and Iowa workforce that, well, we can't do Tuesday because their meetings, and then there's like 2 of us that are on, or 1 of us, and where I'm the only one that I can't do Monday because we have a board meeting. So you basically lose 2 days where you could, if we join the rest of them, everybody would know that a little bit better, so.
Well, on the opposite side of that, I see where we can get, like, if we're one of the few that has on Monday, people
Done,
can come
be
and
done.
see us on Monday, and we're more accessible to get them people when we want.
That's true.
And I think the big issue is with, and I guess I look at it as Friday. I get the agenda, I look at it right away, and if there's any questions, I start calling right away, unless I'm busy that day, but I don't see that as a big issue for me.
I think on, when it's the agenda, even if it comes out at noon on Friday, and we meet at 9 o'clock on Monday, that's only 5 business hours as far as the department heads, the courthouse being open.
And the other problem we're gonna have is how much issue we're gonna have with publications.
Well, I checked, so. Coon and Carroll, their cutoff is 5 PM on Tuesdays, so wouldn't be affected probably. But Manning's is noon on Monday. So that could cause issues. If we had something that we needed to get to the paper after the meeting.
Even if you had something for Manny or for Carroll and Putin, you'd have to have approval prepared. You wouldn't have much time to prepare.
No, not to Manning, and since we have 3 official papers, when we publish something, it has to go in all 3. So if the board meeting went long and 11:30 doesn't give me a lot of time to get what I need to Manning, since the deadline is noon. That's the only issue I see. It could probably be worked around if we plan ahead. But normally, if we're gonna set a public hearing, I have the documentation done already before the meeting. That was the only issue I could see possibly being a problem in the future. But
I
So
mean,
the Manning thing does kind of derail the Tuesday.
It does.
kind of,
But there must be a workaround. A lot of counties meet every other Tuesday or every other Monday.
I think.
Just like city council meets every 2 weeks.
But probably allow them to have papers more,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying,
a daily paper where to get by a week.
Or a lot of them might
2
just
of our
have
3
one
are-
paper that they
yeah.
have to worry about. We have 3 that we have to worry about.
All 3 of ours are not
Yeah.
daily papers.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure there's a lot of counties like that too.
I think it's something we can plan on and just know that if we have something that is gonna need to be put in the paper, because we're gonna have a hearing, that I may
I mean,
have.
how often does that happen? How
I
many?
don't know how many hearings do we have a year? Maybe
Yeah.
6,
Yeah.
maybe 8. I don't know. This kind of
It's
depends.
more than you think. but
Yeah,
public hearings,
yeah.
So that you could have it, publish it next week. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
I'm saying if we got the hearing notice, let's say it's a hearing notice, into Manning before noon on Monday, then it would be published in the same week as, or in the same edition or week as Carroll and Coon. Because you wouldn't want to publish, even if you push the hearing date off, you wouldn't want to publish one week. And
Right.
Carroll and Coon, and then Manning didn't get it, and theirs is the week after. Yeah, you want them all on the same. I think Carroll's is Friday and Coon and Manning's is Thursday, I think, so.
But you don't want
Well, what
something
about-
going, you don't want something going in the Manning paper that we didn't approve on Tuesday.
Right.
That would not be good.
Right, yeah, you wouldn't want to send it ahead of time,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because
yeah, but couldn't you set it upon approval, like if you had to? No, okay.
I don't
Yes.
know.
I mean, there's workarounds if we wanted to make it work.
I think that if you did change it and we all were meeting on Tuesdays, that we would just have to know that, hey, we have something that we're gonna get sent to the paper after the meeting, then maybe that's the first item on the agenda and I leave for a minute to go send it or, whatever, but,
I guess, in my opinion, to Scott's perspective, I don't like knowing that we only have 5 business hours to get everything together. Can we do it? We've been doing it.
Yeah.
But I would like, in my opinion, I would like the meetings to be on Tuesday mornings from another perspective as well. And Rich did talk about it. As far as people stepping up and volunteering or even wanting to run for office, Monday mornings are hectic for anybody, whether it's personal, business. I think I currently am the only one that works full-time outside of this. Monday mornings are busy, and I'm not saying that we need to move this meeting because of my schedule, but I'm saying for future people, Mondays are busy.
see,
And I would like to have the whole day, Monday, to come up. So like, let's say, for instance, Courtney's not here Friday afternoon, or she has an appointment, or any other department has an appointment on Friday afternoons. We have full day Monday to come up here. We're not bombarding them between 8 and 9. Say Courtney, because that has to be a lot for you. But
just the way it is, I plan on that.
yeah,
The only thing I see as being an issue is right now, I gotta figure out a way to say this that doesn't sound bad, but my Mondays are shot as far as work related go. I mean, my office work related. It's board meeting, you know, Monday morning, my day is board meeting. Friday morning, my day is board meeting. So if we move to Tuesdays, then I've got one work day and then I've got another day that's burned up with the board meeting. And then I personally like getting it out of the way because then I got the rest of the week to just do what I need to do. But it's not about me. So,
See, that's why I.
and it's probably just because I'm used to it, but
I
yeah,
just sooner get the meeting over with and done with, and then you got the rest of the week to work.
and
And,
you know,
most of that stuff, we kind of got an idea if it's gonna come up, we can ask questions before that. You know, we don't, it's only things that come up at the last minute that we get short notice on, but.
I think it's a good discussion to have.
have you given
We-
any
we've
thought
had-
to
we've-
meeting twice a month versus every Monday or every Tuesday? Because there are some counties that do meet.
Yeah, I see that. And I thought, I don't have any problem with that, but can you get everything in? Meetings will obviously be longer.
Sure.
They'll probably run at noon for sure. And
I don't see
I've
that
talked
being
to,
an
I've
issue.
talked to supervisors who meet twice a month. They go to lunch and then they come back and finish. You know, I mean.
Exactly.
So,
Well, and if you were
See,
meeting,
Tuesday, I was running CABC.
You know, and I'm, like I said, I'm okay with it, but I have asked those same questions about other boards and they make a day of it. And that's fine if we're all retired. When you're trying to run a business and that's a deterrent to people to step up to these boards. And like I said, if you go to our local ambulances, our local fire departments, when you ask for people to be on our planning and zoning boards, those are all questions. How much time are they gonna gobble up? Because they have other things going on. And I'm just saying, we're cutting into a field of people that might do it if they had a little more expansion time. When you're cut to a 5-hour window of basically finding information out.
That's
And-
5 hour max. That's if it comes out at noon on Friday.
it
Yeah.
comes out
yeah.
at 10.
Yeah.
Because I have to have it to the paper before 10.
No, I'm talking our agenda.
Yeah, it's done by 10 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Fridays. Because I have, that's the deadline for me to get it.
Okay.
But you know, if you're off in your private business, you may not read that email till
Right, yeah, you may
5
not
o'clock.
see it till 2, you know, if
2
you're
or
busy.
3, 4,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like,
Like if we have a question on a plot and if Sarah's not here, we've got 1 hour on Monday morning to ask her.
and it's,
In the bill days, I mean, we've had a lot of discussion on bill days where
Yep.
we're not adequately informed. It's like, well, we'll pass it for now, but I'm gonna check afterwards. Where if we were able to do, I don't want to say a thorough investigation, but if we were able to study, if we had all day Monday or even Friday or over the weekend, but it would give us an additional business day.
Yeah.
I'm okay. It's working the way it is, but when
absolutely.
you see how many other counties do it,
Gene, did you say they tried it one time?
This topic's been brought up a couple times. What we did try is, we did try having some evening meetings.
Oh, that's what it was.
And there was a time we had them in different communities, rotated them, just trying to get more public. We got some there, but it wasn't much. I mean, when we did most of that was when we was trying to do that tip with the windmills.
Mhm.
And I mean, I thought they were good. They got, we would have some people show up, but it wasn't as big as what we thought.
The locals would show up.
And, but we've had this discussion before about Mondays and I think it always came back, people just wanted to had that meeting done, and you got the rest of the week to schedule anything else that comes in. And I personally, that's, maybe I'm setting my ways.
no, I know. When
I
look at how
like
many
getting it
counties
done
do
and over
two
with.
That's
days,
kind of like I am, and I just think a lot of
And
it has to do
I
with.
think one of the other issues that we used to bring up, and I was always, at the times that we talked about before this, was with elections, it's always a
Sure.
big issue.
Yeah, and that's gonna be an issue.
And
But you can work around
But a lot
that.
of counties.
we could work it out, but
yeah, half the
That would be a
counties do
week
it
we
on
wouldn't
Tuesday.
have a meeting, so you could
Yeah.
work those 5 full days knowing it's an
Even
election.
Even Mondays for you are
Yeah.
bad on
Yeah.
election day.
Mondays.
And we should be able to
Wednesdays.
plan accordingly,
That was-
not to have a meeting to respect your space as
but
well.
I'm very, very much feel it should stay the way it is.
I could go either way. It really doesn't make me a big difference. Do we want to try a Tuesday?
I don't think there's any big advantage either way. myself.
We've had them on Tuesdays.
We've had
There's
them
a
on
holiday on
Tuesdays. when
Monday.
I'm
Yeah,
on
well,
holiday.
holidays.
But that's still a Monday.
That's still a Monday.
It's still
I mean,
Monday.
there's nothing broke the way it is. I think we could be better prepared if we had another full day.
Would you want to push off, if we want to keep it on Mondays, would you want to push it a little later in the morning?
I
Does
don't,
that
I'm not,
help?
like I said,
Or,
there's
you know,
nothing
then
broke
you
the
have
way
more
it is.
time Monday. I don't know.
When Cass
Instead of
got
meeting at 9, do you
to
want to
10,
meet
you
at
mean?
10? Then you've got 2 hours in the morning to come in, or, I mean, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I don't know.
And I also want to make sure people are very, very well aware. The supervisors are here more than just Monday mornings, because when I stop in, I see supervisors floating throughout the courthouse all the way throughout the week. So
Well, and I think that's kind of where I'm coming from with that, leaving it Mondays, then you got the rest of the week, you can get things scheduled and planned, because there's always stuff coming up. And if I have an issue with something with secondary roads, I'll get together with Zach and sometime during the week and
Yeah, there's nothing broke with the way it is. When I just saw how many other counties
Like
did it, and I
Tuesdays.
started thinking about the questions that perhaps could get answered. And now, Courtney prints my packets, so I pick them up on Friday. But it used to be, we huddled around the auditor's desk, we all had questions.
see, I get mine,
Bless you.
I print my own out
Exactly.
and I get it ready.
That
I
lead-based
actually
paint.
either Friday or Saturday or Sunday, I'm doing.
Is it the lead-based paint or was it all?
Yeah, no,
talk
But,
about all
and
the
I
work?
think for the most part, a lot of it's a
Work,
big
you
issue.
know.
We know about a lot of that stuff before. I think it's only things that are real short notice that we. And I think that's one thing we don't try to do too much is put things on the agenda short notice.
We always ask what's on the agenda for next week before we close out the meeting.
Well, Green County meets on Mondays.
I found it interesting, the ones that meet like Mondays, and Wednesdays.
Well, there's even one on Friday.
I saw that.
Yeah, I
on a
see
Friday.
Friday. Why would you want to do Friday?
Well, and I'll tell you one thing I do not. I think I still like to see us meet every week. I think if you start skipping weeks, things kind of get drug out. And then you do get the 98 ball push things through.
I agree.
I'm okay,
There are
with-
weeks-
I'm okay with it the way it is.
Yes, I mean, it's
Yeah.
working, yeah.
I told you I'm neutral, so.
Yeah.
I'm retired though,
So I'm
so.
gonna tell you this, don't ask my wife. But she'll talk just opposite of what I do.
Saying, me personally, I would rather have seen it Tuesdays, but I'm fine with
I-
Mondays too.
I'm
I've been doing
I'm all
it
for
for 4 years.
Tuesdays, but there's nothing broke the way it is.
And maybe we just bring it back up again in 6 months.
Whatever, yeah.
All right, so from what I gather, we're gonna keep it Monday mornings at 9. Okay. Item number 9, manure management annual updates. Lane Bachman, I didn't know.
I don't know either.
Okay,
We've never gotten a section or township of where that's at. Based on the name, I'm gonna guess it's up in maybe Sheridan Township,
Probably.
but I don't know
Well,
for sure.
I think he lives around Auburn and I assume
Yeah.
it's probably in the northern part of the county. where they're putting
But-
it.
The report we get from DNR doesn't have a section in township, so I always go back and look at previous recorded ones and none of them are there either. So I may.
well,
just
there's
need
no
to-
changes.
There's no changes, and I probably just need to contact the local DNR office and ask them where it's at, and then I just keep a note in the future that that's where it's at.
What do you think David wanted on that
You
document?
would think so.
So they e-file those a lot now, the annual updates. Some of the people still bring in the paper copy, but a lot of them are e-filed, and when I get the e-file form, it does not say section, township, and range. So every e-file one, I have to go back and look at the previous one and find out what section it is.
I would ask them to make sure they
I
put it
have.
on, and they don't.
No, that's not the way it works.
There you go.
It takes me about 5 minutes.
But
to
I
do,
mean,
but
do that, am I wrong that the DNR actually documents this on a map so somebody
They
can
do.
follow up on it?
So if I called them, they could tell me where it's at. But it's not on the form that I get emailed.
Oh,
DNR being
I dare say that word.
So, but in the future, if I have this, I'll probably just call, because I looked. Oh, yeah, nobody knows where it's at.
All right, so Brenda Hudrick, section 32, Arcadia Township is the original plan. And then Hillside, section 30, Arcadia Township, changed crop rotation or optimum yields and used a manure analysis. And our only last committee report is Dean, but real quick, I want to let you guys know, John did get back to me. Thursday does work at 9 a.m. And Tom only has until 10, but I had put, that's fine, that'll work. So Tom can do his presentation and then if we need
They're
to,
gonna Zoom. then
yeah,
talk,
we will set up a link for Zoom.
But we'll be here. Okay,
You know, Thursday then.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay,
It's-
thank you.
all right. Thank you. Health meeting on Thursday. It was a lengthy meeting, a couple hours. It was our normal bi-monthly meeting. We started with the Board of Health itself. And, phase 2 of the Stephen Group project, the health. Carroll County Health Needs Assessment Survey is going to be out, and that'll be, go to the website, you can go. So it's just like any other survey. You find it, you can fill it out. I can pass it around. It's basically almost the same one that's been going out for every 3 years. We talked then a little bit about the Carroll County Public Health redesign, and there really wasn't a lot of discussion about that, except for we're going to have a meeting tomorrow. We set a meeting for tomorrow to have that
What's
discussion.
redesign?
Basically to take the assessment and determine what we're going to do at this point in time. So going to have that meeting tomorrow evening. The next thing on the agenda was the FY23 LPHS grant that comes to Carroll Public Health through the IDPH, and that is they changed the way they were going to administer that grant. It's now going to be population based as opposed to individual based. So it's going to be more education and more education based. And so it does, the money is going to be the same. We just have to report it different, how we're using those dollars. So, and that's the one that gets split between the public health nurse and home care aides. I think it used to be, it's now 40% to public health nurse and 60% to home care aides. The new opportunities report, Paula Clucky passed out the grants that need to be applied for. And this is something Rich helped me with this with Carrie Prescott in Webster County. I talked to her down in ISAC. She did call me again, and she wrote down 4 grants that we need that Carroll County needs to be addressing back then. And then I'll just pass this around. It's amazing that that Paula brought she brought 5 of them up, but she brought those 4 up, and when they were needed to be submitted, and one of them is, I think, today. And so Paula was going to make sure she got that in. But yeah, we're on the right track, even according to that Carrie. We're doing things just the way we should be doing them. So we don't have any issues there.
As far as applying for the grants.
What's that?
As far as applying for the.
Yeah, as far as applying for grants, yeah. Yeah, if you look at the top page, that little scrap note I got there, those are the ones that Carrie Prescott said we needed to look into. And those are also the ones that Paula reported on. So it's a good thing that we got that a little bit of a cross examination there of what's happening on that. So we're basically doing the right things. Public health nursing, it's pretty quiet right now in the public health nursing department. Real quiet. There's not a lot going on there. COVID shots, vaccinations were 159 in January and 18 in February. So it's, and you know, we don't really have, she had no reports on any testing. You know, there's just very little testing going on. And if there is any testing going on, it's probably more than likely done at home now. And you don't know about it unless you have to, unless you're going somewhere, unless you're traveling out of the country, you may have to. But otherwise, the testing is really quiet. There was some discussion on the IT grant amendment. And it looks like we should be pretty good as far as getting all that we requested. So I think there was 123,000 offered to Carroll County, and I think they were going to use like 83,000. So it looks like that's probably going to happen. The avian flu, Nikki didn't realize there was actually some turkey buildings in Carroll County. So we gave her some direction there as far as needing to contact those individuals. I think in the other ones, there's a lot of movement in and out of those facilities, like up in Vista County, where they've had the outbreaks, where I think this is a family operation here in Carroll County, and it's pretty well closed. So hopefully we don't have any issues there. Environmental health. The news there is that Carrie thought that because of the cost of doing testing, the on-site water test grant and septic examinations would go up. The septic from $150 to $200, and the well testing would go from $125 to $175. The emergency preparedness grant. We're still having issues there, and I hope they get it worked out, because that deadline's coming up too, as far as we got $35,000 to spend, and we still have $29,000 left. So we're hoping that we can move some of those dollars to the ambulance. That's what they'd like to do. And we've done this before, so I mean, I don't know why it's such an issue this year, but we're gonna have to work through that. I think that is probably about it. Otherwise, nothing really changed. We set up a meeting for tomorrow evening to go over the Carroll County Public Health redesign. I can tell you more about that next week, I guess, and we'll see how that goes. That was it for the Board of Health. That's all I had last week, and this week I have Board of Health tomorrow night. So
Real
that's it.
quick, thanks, Dean. I know I sent you guys that email about the board of review. Has anybody come up with an idea to fill that vacancy on that board?
I haven't seen the.
How soon does that need to be done?
I mean,
As soon as possible, right?
yeah,
What's
2
that?
months ago.
But as soon as possible.
There was a suggestion for a person. I'm not gonna say it in public forum because they don't even know they were suggested, so.
Person I'd like to ask first before the board would meet. I have not seen.
Well, just keep it in the back of your head.
So is that's selected by the total conference board then?
That's selected by us. We fill that.
We feel that.
The board of review, that's not by the conference board?
That's not what Cindy said. Cindy said the board of supervisors fills the position. So I don't know if you guys could maybe, that's what it says.
Don't look at the the appointment list, but I think it is.
Just us.
I think it is. I'll double check. I'll double check though,
Yeah, double check.
because it's on the appointment list thing.
But I think, I remember the conference board, I thought there was always.
Looking at- You said the board review.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got 21s here. I don't know.
Does it say at the top of it, the whole sheet who that's appointed to, or?
But does it-
Not, oh, here it says not a board of supervisor appointment.
The board of review.
The review of that?
I think it's a conference board.
Yeah. I knew one of them had.
code 4413, this is what she gave me. The chairperson of the conference board shall call a meeting by written notice to all members of the board for
which-
purpose of appointing a board of review for all assessments. So yeah, you are right. You are correct. I stand corrected. Conference
You're the
board.
chairman of also that.
Yeah,
Okay. The other board.
the other board of the other board. No, but if
Board of
anybody has a
Adjustment.
recommendation.
Yeah, I think we're on the board. We're in charge of the board.
We're 1/3 of one vote. So
The mayor's school district.
But if you guys have a recommendation, can you bring them by next Monday? Otherwise, I will reach out to this other person that I have.
if you get it. Yeah.
Well,
And then-
I'm looking at this one. We already have one from Coon Rapids and we have two others that were from Coon Rapids.
Yeah. And
So
one
it
of
would
them,
be nice to spread it around a little bit.
I had that conversation with Cindy, and the one that has left is from Coon Rapids, and she would like to see someone from the Carroll area. Because we do have a representative from
Frida.
Rita.
Dedham.
And
So yeah, it'd be nice to have somebody else from up here
Spread out a little
Yeah.
bit more.
or Manning
Who's the
or
one
Arcadia.
from
Pardon me?
Who's the one from Dedham?
Cody Pearl, Cody
All right.
Pomeroy, he's a carpenter. You have to have a carpenter, a realtor. And I think Cindy said that the realtor side is really short because that's what the John that resigned, who came off of, he was the only one, so.
So she would like to have a.
I like a realtor type person back on.
Other than that. Oh, I was gonna bring up, I did talk to Tony. We should be hearing back from Tri-Battery potentially this week, so. That's all I have. Courtney, what do you have?
I don't have anything. We talked a little bit about next week with the handbook. We've added the ambulance handbook. And I'll let you know the city of Templeton will be here. I don't know who it'll be. Rhonda, I'm sure, but I don't know if she's bringing some others. In that annexation, they're gonna be looking for Templeton.
Ben or Dalton, is there any comments online?
There's no comments on mine.
Thanks, Ben. All right, we're in order for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Been a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. We are adjourned.